Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
I'm introducing to you the incoming president of South Africa, the commander-in-chief and president of the EFF, Comrade President.
Amandla. Viva EFF, viva. Tata EFF, tata. Tata EFF, tata. Phansi ngamasela, phansi. Phansi ngamasela, phansi. Thank you very much. Sekela Mongameli. Sibulise unobhala. Commissar Marshal Dlamini. Sibulise convener and coordinator together with the chairperson and the secretary of the province of the Eastern Cape. I want to take this opportunity and greet all the regions of the EFF and more importantly, you, the ground forces of the EFF. We are in a very historic province in the history of our country and in the history of struggle. Dibulisa kuni nonke. Dibulise nekumkani. Yabatembu ilapha namhlanje. Our very own King Buelikaya Dalinjevo. Diti Azwelibans. 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 I want to thank as well all those who made this event successful. Every businessman who has contributed to this event. Your money did not go to waste or did not go into the pockets of individuals. This in front of us is the evidence of where your money went to. We were so blessed that even the kingdom of the Khoisan came to witness this historic day. But I want to thank Chipa in particular, who got a tender of managing this stadium. When he gave us this stadium, the ANC went to Chipa and said he must remove that permission of the EFF to occupy the stadium. At the beginning, Chipa was shaking until the Secretary General of the EFF came down and said to Chipa, you can't do that because if you do it, that Chipa FC club will only play in PE. It won't play everywhere else in South Africa. But he was joking with him. He came to show him the importance of why he must not be intimidated by criminals. And Chipa was so brave. He said to the ANC, I will continue to give them the stadium. I don't need your permission. They have met all the requirements. Comrades, we want to send our greetings to Abu Mama who used to work in Siskai and they've not received their money till today because the corrupt government has stolen their money. We are saying to them, you are not alone. We are with you. And I will also make sure that when you submit your petition, we are there with you. And when we take over this province of King Hintsa, we will give you your money because you worked very hard for that money. Sila Kumkan, under the theme Land and Jobs Now, stop load shedding. Our manifesto is a manifesto of hope to the people of Mdantsane. It's a manifesto of hope to all those parents who lost their children, who fell into pit toilets. This is a message of hope to all children who attend mud schools in the Eastern Cape. This message we carry with us today. We dedicate it to our fallen African icon, Sister Sahara, who comes from a street which does not have a tar road. We are saying to her, we will honor you by ensuring that there is a tar road on that street. Fighters, we are here in PE, in Eastern Cape, because we want to send hope to the people of New Brighton in Gqeberha and say to them, those criminals, when we take over government, we are going to make them meet their maker, because no one in Gqeberha must live in fear. Fighters, I carry with me a message of hope to the students of Walter Sisulu University and the historic Fort Hare University, institutions which are being destroyed today by the corrupt ANC. We are saying to the people of Matatiele, we are going to fight with men who continue to beat up women in Matatiele, because Matatiele has become the epicenter of gender-based violence. Silapa today to say to that criminal Oscar Mabuyan, your time is finished. Today we are here to say to all of them, all the criminals who have been stealing the money of the Eastern Cape, today you are eating that money for the last time. The next time you will be eating the money of government, it will be in prison. When we give you food for free, that is the money of government you are going to eat. We are coming after you, Oscar Mabuyan, because you stole the money of the burial of Nelson Mandela. How dirty are you to steal a money of a funeral of an icon? Don't think we're forgotten about that. Comrades, here in Eastern Cape, uMabuyane uthenga ama-degree ngathi amagwinya, uthenge i-masters e-Fort Hare University. The University of Fort Hare, which was home of African icons like President Robert Mugabe, President Robert Mangaliso Subukwe, President Nelson Mandela. Your university is being destroyed by Oscar Mabuyane and the corrupt politicians who are getting degrees for free at Fort Hare. We want to say to the Professor Sakele Butlungu, ungasabi, continue to expose the corruption and the syndicate of politicians of Eastern Cape who are stealing money, who are stealing degrees, who are stealing toilets. How dare you steal a toilet? Comrades, the leader of Eastern Cape as we speak today is cutting edge on SABC1, because cutting edge, when it wants a story of poverty, it must come to Eastern Cape. When it wants a story of underdevelopment, it must come to Eastern Cape. When it wants a story of hunger, it comes to the Eastern Cape. We are saying to the people of Eastern Cape, all of that will come to an end. We will restore Umtata to its rightful place, because that town used to be a beautiful town. If they can do it, those who came before us, it means we can do better than them. Comrades, This is a province where they brought scooters and said they're bringing ambulances which are going to be on a scooter. How do you bring a scooter when there is no road? Where are we going to drive that scooter? This province has got 40% of unemployed young people. This province is one of the provinces, if you want to show the world how corruption works, this is where you need to come. We always ask the question, what did the people of Eastern Cape do to deserve this kind of treatment? This is a province which was leading against colonialism. This is the province that was leading the struggle for freedom. This is a province that produced heroes and heroines of our struggle. Yet this province is the poorest of the poor. Comrades, the EFF will make sure that we honor the legacy of those who came to this province. Because under EFF, you will never see sewer blockage. Under the EFF, we will make sure we supply reliable electricity. We'll make sure we give you land to build your own beautiful houses. We'll make sure there is no pit toilet in the Eastern Cape and all over South Africa. Comrades, if you come from a home without a flushing toilet, you must know for 30 years you were treated like an animal. Because only animals, after dropping it, they must see it. A human being must never see those things. Flushing toilet is not luxury. Flushing toilet is a necessity and it's a right. That's why today we cannot celebrate the human rights. How do you say we've got rights when we don't have a flushing toilet? How do you say we've got rights with so much crime being committed in PE? How do you say we've got rights when many of our people go to bed with an empty stomach? Kumkan, sfunum klava. We need to give your children land, and working with you, traditional leaders, we are going to give women, we are going to give the youth a piece of land to work on it, because the land of Eastern Cape is fertile. It's very good for agriculture. We will not only give you land, we are going to give you land and give you money to work the land. What is the point of giving you land if we can't give you tools to work the land? We are going to take all of you to school to learn agriculture, to also learn business management, because land is business. You are poor, you are unemployed because you don't have the land. We want you to be the producers of your own food. Comrades, we want to make sure that all those who are engaged in stealing sheep and goats here in Eastern Cape, Deputy President, they are locked up. Because there is a problem here of stock theft. We must make sure that when we give our people land to farm tea, pineapple, tomatoes, to also farm sheep, cattle, and goats, there must be a security of all of that stock, because here in Eastern Cape, it gets stolen with ease. Comrades, sifune imisebenzi. We want all of you to work, because it's important that each and every family must at least have one person working. It should be a crime and violation of human rights if there is a family which does not have one person working in that family. Every family deserves a dignity, and jobs are a dignity. Today, you don't have jobs because the ANC has corrupted tourism in Eastern Cape, which has got potential to produce 300,000 jobs immediately. Comrades, we want you to work in municipalities, and we don't want you to work in municipalities because you are an ANC member or EFF member. We want you to work there because you've got South African ID and you've got qualifications. This thing of ANC mayors and councillors demanding sex before they give you a job must come to an end. Because the ANC policy for jobs is tunusa uthola umsebenzi. So we are going to finish all of that when we take over this government. Comrades, load shedding will be a matter of the past when EFF takes over. Because only the EFF can resolve the problem of load shedding. We are going to make sure that all the power stations are properly maintained. We are going to make sure that they are properly serviced, and we are going to make sure that anyone who damages the facility that gives us electricity goes to jail for a very long time. Comrades, we are going to protect ESCOM and destroy all of the corruption that is in ESCOM. Load shedding is as a result of corruption of the ANC. Fighters, we want to build beautiful houses here in the Eastern Cape. We don't want to give you useless RDP houses. We want to give you a house that has got 3 bedrooms, a house that has got a lounge, a house that has got a dining area, a house that has got a kitchen, a house that has got a flushing toilet inside. Anyone who says to you, ANC gave you RDP houses, and that house does not have a toilet inside, it has got a toilet outside, it is not a house, it's a glorified mukuku. A house means a flushing toilet. Without a flushing toilet, it's not a house. So the ANC has never given our people houses. It gave them glorified mukuku. That's why after they give you that RDP house, in 3 months' time, the house has got cracks or is collapsing. We want a proper house, Kumkan. When we do a wall inside that divides the rooms, we don't use a single brick. We use double bricks because when old people are busy with old people things in another room, the children must not hear what the elders are doing. Mara, with this RDP house of the ANC, when you are in another room and you are trying to touch your wife and she's smiling, making some noise, you hear the child saying, hey, what's wrong, guys? How can we have dignity if children cannot be separated from adults? We want a house that will give you dignity. I want you, young people, when you get a lift here in East London going to Mdantsane, you don't ask your friend to drop you at the corner because you are ashamed of your house. You are ashamed of your home. I want you to get a lift here in East London, and they must drop you in front of your gate, and you must tell them, this is my home, because you'll be proud of the kind of houses we are going to give you. Comrades, there are no hospitals here in Eastern Cape. All hospitals have collapsed, and old people, when you say to them, I'm taking you to a hospital, They ask you which hospital. You say a government hospital. They start crying because they know that thing is not a hospital. It's a mortuary. They will never come back alive when they go to a government hospital. They've collapsed the health system here in Eastern Cape. We are going to revive it, and not only revive it, we are going to build a clinic in each and every ward in the Eastern Cape, and that clinic must have a doctor, that clinic must have nurses. What is a clinic without an ambulance? So that when you are sick, the ambulance must come and pick you up right on your gate. We are going to build proper roads so that these ambulances can go all over collecting people, because one of the problems in the Eastern Cape is a problem of roads. Our villages are not accessible. Our villages get into buggies for them to go to town because there are no taxis that go to the villages. But once we build the roads, the taxis will go to the villages. There will be an economy in the villages because the economy follows proper roads. Once you build proper roads, people will come and build shopping malls because they know the area is accessible. And through development of those roads, we are going to create jobs, because construction creates jobs. And we are going to turn Eastern Cape into a construction site and give the jobs to our people. Comrades, all of you must go to school free of charge. And all of you must have schools next to where you stay. And anyone who stays 2 kilometers away from the school, the government must provide transport for all those who are staying far. And the transport, before we go to take buses to give to students, we start with taxis. Because taxis belong to us. Taxi industry, it is the only industry in South Africa that is black owned. And that's why we must support the taxis in a scholar transport. Scholar transport must not start with those who have buses. We start with taxis, we'll end with buses. Because we don't want to destroy our own business. Comrades, in the Eastern Cape, children die crossing rivers. During funerals, if the graves are on this side and it was raining, people cross the river carrying a coffin. Only in Eastern Cape you can experience such madness. Comrades, we are going to make sure that there is no mud school in the Eastern Cape and that all schools have got flushing toilets. We are going to make sure that children get school uniform and shoes free of charge. Because these people say, we are giving you free education. It's not free education. They are lying to you. Because education is not school fees. When they make you not to pay school fees, it doesn't mean education is free. A free education means everything that makes up education must be free of charge. That's what free education means. They say you are poor, don't pay school fees, but go and buy uniform. Oh, when I buy uniform, I'm rich. When I'm supposed to pay school fees, I'm poor. How can I be rich and poor at the same time? I must be poor if I'm poor. And poor means I'll get social grants. My children will go to school free of charge. They will get the whole uniform free of charge. We don't want your children to become a joke. when they are at school because their uniform doesn't look like other children. They diss them, they make jokes about them. We want all of them to look the same, to know when they are at school, it's about education, nothing else but education. We want to give them food during break, and because we are going to take the land and we'll be producing our own food and our own meat, feeding scheme must have proper meat inside. Plus, I know you, closer speaking people with meat, you like meat. So we must give you meat at school, proper meat, not during break only. Even after school, you must eat, because when you leave the school, you must go and do your homeworks and play as a child. You must not be thinking about where am I going to get food after school. We want you not to turn into criminals because of poverty. We want you to go out there and make all of us proud. When you go to tertiary, free of charge. The president of the student command was speaking here, deputy president. He says they are governing a lot of universities. He's not lying. And there where the student command is leading, the poor of the poorest are allowed to register free of charge. The poor of the poorest are allowed to get their results or to be admitted even when they are still owing the university. We have done this even before we became government. Imagine if we are in government. Comrades, we want you to have free Wi-Fi, not only during the day at the classrooms, even at the residences where you stay, there must be free Wi-Fi, because students is about research. You don't do research only during the day. You do research even at night. And if you look at Facebook, so be it. Why not? Wi-Fi must be there for the youth to be connected with the world and to know what's happening all over the world and make the right choices because they got an exposure. No child will be turned away from school on the basis that they don't have money. The EFF is going to make sure that all of you learn for free. Why do we do that? We want to make education fashionable. We want you, when you are there in Mdantsane, not to compete about which cell phone you are using. Hey, I'm using iPhone. Hey, I'm using Samsung. You must compete about, are you done with your degree? Are you done with your diploma? Oh, I'm finishing my master's. That should be the kind of a discussion amongst African children. And that education must not be colonial education. It must be education that makes you to love yourself and never look up to white person as a superior person, but to know that we are all human beings. Comrades, when they go around, Oscar Mabuyan and them, they say Julius Malema, when he takes over, he's going to cancel social grants. They say so because they don't read. You must tell them, we know you stole masters. That's why you don't read. You must tell them to check the manifesto of the EFF. We say in the manifesto, we are doubling the social grants. We are not taking it away. We are moving old age grant from 2,090 rands to 4,180. We are moving disability grant from 2,090 to 4,180. And for disabled people, there is no disabled person in South Africa who will not have a house given to that person by the state. the state can give all disabled people houses within a year, because there are not many disabled people. In your own section where you come from, it's either one or two people who are disabled. That's why it's practically possible to give all disabled people proper houses. Houses that are friendly to disabled people. We want in each and every office of government to have a person who can speak sign language. We want a person who's disabled to work in each and every office of government. There must not be an office of government where disabled people are not given an opportunity. All the buildings of those government offices must be user-friendly for disabled people. Those are our people. If you can't take care of such people, how can you take care of us? We must start with those ones. Then we know you've got a good heart. You'll take care of all of us. Comrades, enzana bantwana ngizawukhokhela mna, because siyayidabula a child grant from 510 to 1,020 rand, because our children deserve better. Don't be lazy. Please, don't be lazy. Enzana bantwana SG lingalali. When we leave here, sicela ukuthi nibe busy. Please. And I don't care whether you are poor or not. Enzana abantwana. We must multiply ourselves. We must leave legacy through our own children. They say to me, why do you say people must make children? They are poor. How are they going to feed these children? I was born to a poor family. Being born in a poor family does not mean you are going to die poor. You can change that family and make it a better family. Give birth to children who are going to change those families. The poor too have a right to make children. And when we say enzana bantwana, we are not speaking to children. Children must go to school. We are going to take them to school free of charge. Those who are ready, do it unashamedly. Comrades, there is a potential of fishery here in the Eastern Cape. We must tap into it as one area which can create a lot of jobs. We need to fight crime toe for toe. Any criminal who points a gun at any law enforcement officer, he must not come out of that alive. When a criminal points a policeman with a gun, the policeman must not aim at the shoulder of the criminal. You must aim at the forehead and collapse the criminal. Because we have no place for criminals here in South Africa. We want our streets back. We want females to walk at night without being scared of these criminals who have taken over our streets. Comrades, the EFF is the only solution in South Africa. Don't allow them to lie to you. We are the only ones who can make minds go back to the people of South Africa. This Eastern Cape has got a lot of ex-mine workers. They too were never paid when they left mines. They left mines sick, made sick by the mines, yet their monies are not paid. Only the EFF will make sure that the mines pay the ex-workers what those ex-workers deserve. Comrades, only the EFF protect the artists of South Africa. This Mapiano that today they are speaking about, they don't even know that most of the hits of that Mapiano were produced in the EFF studio, because EFF believes in young artists and in giving artists support, because we know through art we can create jobs. Look at Mapiano and how many families Mapiano is feeding today. It is art that can create jobs and feed families. We want to support every town with creating a studio where all those who want to unleash their talents, they do so without paying a cent. Fellow fighters, Ramaphosa is a criminal. Ramaphosa is a money launderer. Ramaphosa has got a big nose. It's not an insult. Now, you remove people in parliament because they say Ramaphosa is a money launderer. He's a money launderer. You cannot protect a criminal. Which president takes money and put it in the sofas and in the mattress? We used to fight with Zuma and said Zuma is the most corrupt man in the whole world, until we met Mr. Big Nose. That thing is worse than Jacob Zuma. Hey, the guy can steal you. This guy, in a country where children are dying of hunger, children are dying of poverty. Here in Eastern Cape, mothers kill their own children and kill themselves because of poverty. Then you have a president who says, with so much poverty, puts money under mattress, and not just money, dollars. Dollars of dollars under mattress. Yo, we thought Zuma was a West man. Corruption today has doubled in South Africa under Ramaphosa. Unemployment has doubled today under Ramaphosa. Crime has doubled today under Ramaphosa. Poverty is worse in the Eastern Cape under Oscar Mabuyane. Under Mabuyane and Oscar, things have become worse. But fighters, we are not complainants. We are a solution. We are going to take over this province and resolve all those issues. We want to make sure that every one of you enjoy their human rights under a conducive environment. This organization that loves humanity will never watch you dying in poverty. We are coming to take you out of a deep hole. Eastern Cape, you are in a deep hole. We are here to rescue you, but you have to help yourself before we help you. You have to raise your hands so that we can extend our hand and pull you out of this mess, out of this deep hole of poverty, out of this deep hole of unemployment, out of this big hole of disaster that was created by the ANC. The ANC does not respect you, the people of Eastern Cape, because they mess you up, you still vote for them. They mess you up, you still vote for them. Even now, they are saying they can lose everywhere, but they know they will never lose in Eastern Cape. That nonsense, you are going to make the end of it on the 29th of May. Comrades, I'm here to invite you to support the people of Palestine, because Palestine human rights is being violated. We have no human rights here if Palestinians are being bombarded by apartheid Israel. If you vote for any other party except the EFF, you must know that you are voting for the killing of the people of Palestine. DA support apartheid Israel. The ANC is pretending to be supporting Palestine. We took a decision in Parliament that Israel embassy must leave South Africa. Today, the ANC is not implementing that decision because they don't believe in that decision. You love humanity, you love people of Palestine. If you love yourself, you will never agree that women and children must be killed the way they are being killed in Palestine. The war in Palestine must stop now. We want Israel to stop the war in Palestine now because they are destroying a nation in front of us. Secretary General, from today, you are released to go and work in KwaZulu-Natal because we don't want any stone to be left unturned. And the Deputy President of the EFF will now work here in the Eastern Cape. You, comrades, have done a wonderful job. We are proud of you. You have oiled the machinery of the EFF all over South Africa. On Saturday, I'm in Northern Cape. On Sunday, I'm in Western Cape. Then we'll be done with provincial rallies. We are now doing only door to door. We speak to people directly. And even when they are wearing ANC t-shirt, don't be scared to talk to them. They are troubled under that t-shirt. So speak to them. Do not be scared. We are living here. Ground forces, their work starts now. Don't say, we have delivered the stadium, we are done. The work starts now. We are here to shoot a bullet, a warning bullet to these criminals. And we are going to march from here to the Union Building non-stop. The EFF will be in the Union Building after the 29th of May because of you, the people of Eastern Cape. Amanda! Tata EFF, Tata! Tata EFF, Tata! I cool EFF Eastern Cape, I cool EFF Eastern Cape, I cool Amanda! Auno makubi Siaya No makubi Siaya No mabese tobola Besishaya, Besibopa, no ma besetobola, Besishaya, Besibopa, no ma kubi, Siaya. No makubi Siaya Who left? Who right? Yamasa Who left? Kita Kilame Kiribata Samarumo Asicha. Where were you when I'm sitting? Where were you when I'm dreaming? Sofa skitchy, etati, sofa skitchy, emoyen, bonke labant, Hibagit. Bonke laban. Hibagit. Siltatile. Hilagit. Siltatile. Hilagit. Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the poor. The farmer. Kill the poor. The farmer. Brr, pa. Pa. Brr, pa. Pa. Attention.